Hello, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is Opportunities in Sales Pipeline. So, I'm going to give you a big overview of the Opportunities tab in Command, how you will handle those transactions, and just some basics on the opportunities and the general layout. And then we'll spend the second half of class actually walking through the sales pipeline. Where do you start once you have a contact? What happens when you start looking for houses or having your listing appointments to get that listing? All the way through to the closing table. I'll show you how to get your documents even submitted to your Market Center for compliance and make sure you get paid at closing. So we'll go through all of that today. If you're here with me live, you can definitely drop any questions or comments that you have in the chat. I'll be happy to help get those answered for you. If I happen to see them during real time, I'll answer them for you then. Or if it's a more involved question, no worries. I am going to stay a couple of minutes after class and help get them answered for you then. So just definitely go ahead and drop those questions and keep them coming. Okay. If you're watching this back on a recording and you have questions, you can always reach out to us via email. And that email address is support@scottleroymarketing.com. And we'll be happy to help you that way too. All right. So opportunities, what are they? Where do they live? They're over here in your command. They're the two hands shaking on the left-hand side. If you're not familiar with the icons just yet, you can always click that red square at the top to pop out the names, and that way you'll be able to get more familiar with them or identify them quickly. You can always click the red square at the top to hide those again too if you'd like. So opportunities live right here. We're going to go over this whole entire dashboard in just a few seconds, but I do want to show you a little bit of prep work before you start jumping in to opportunities. And that would be to make sure that you have your signature platform like DocuSign or Dotloop linked to your command account before creating your opportunities. Now, if you've gone in and created a test opportunity, that's fine. There's just a benefit of making sure that your signature platform is linked to command first. That way, your opportunities will sync with that signature platform and help save you some steps. I'll show you further along in class when we start going through the sales pipeline process where it will save you some steps. So let's just go over that little bit of prep work first. DocuSign will link and Dotloop will link to your command over here in the top right. If you see your name listed right here, you'll want to go down to your settings. This is your applications page. This is where third-party platforms sync or link or integrate, whichever word you choose, to your command. So you can see that we have DocuSign option here and Dotloop. It's good to make sure you know which one that your market center currently uses. And there are some exceptions, like our Canadian agents, our California agents. Sometimes you may not use DocuSign or Dotloop directly integrated with command. So definitely check with your market center if this is sounding off the wall to you, if this is not something familiar or that you've been seeing in your onboarding. But for the majority of our agents throughout the US, you will use either DocuSign or Dotloop. I'm going to stick to DocuSign today because I believe like 90% of the offices use that. But what I'm fixing to show you with DocuSign can also apply to Dotloop. Okay. So you'll just want to make sure that this signature platform is linked to your command before creating your opportunity. Over here on the right-hand side, you can click Connect Account, and you have a couple of options. It's important that this DocuSign account be a KW DocuSign account. If you've had a previous DocuSign account before coming to KW, chances are it's not compatible. You'll want to have a DocuSign account that was created from right within your own command account. If you are still needing that, if you need a KW DocuSign account, first, you can always reach out to us at SLM. Okay, that's something that we usually set up for you. However, if you'd like to do it on your own, you're more than welcome to. You would do it from right here on this screen. Again, all I did was click Connect Account. You would enter your business email right here in this last field and click Send Registration Email. It will send an invite to that business email as long as that business email is not already associated with an existing DocuSign account. Okay. But let's say you already have a KW DocuSign account and you just need to link it to your command. Same process, you'll click the connect account over here on the right hand side, but then you'll go to login here. When you click login here, you will enter your existing KW DocuSign account information. So first put in the email address that you log into DocuSign with, and then it will prompt you for your password. Then choose login. It may take it just a couple of seconds. And now you should see a banner at the top letting you know that it linked, and you should see the current status show connected. Okay, this is what you want to see before you start creating opportunities. Again, if you've already created an opportunity, like a test opportunity or anything like that, that's 100% fine. Again, it just makes it sync together and saves you some steps, and I'll show you those steps soon. Now that we have our signature platform, DocuSign, linked to command, we can move on to our opportunities, and let's do a brief overview of the opportunities tab right here in command, just to show you what all it offers you here. Excuse me, just had to clear my throat. So right here underneath the opportunities tab, you'll see over here on the left-hand side, 3 different visuals of the sales pipeline. You have your listings, your buyer opportunity, and your leases. Notice they're in different colors. You'll see this color coding throughout your opportunities. So listings are in green, buyers in an orange-red color, and then leases will be in purple. Each bubble that you see here, these are all clickable links, and we'll jump into them in just a second. But each one is a phase in the sales pipeline. You have cultivate. This is when you're just getting to know that contact. Maybe they're a lead and you're converting them into now a contact. You're having that real estate conversation with them, and then they become your client once they commit to you as their agent. And so this is the cultivate stage where you are just getting to cultivate that relationship with that contact or that lead. The next phase is appointment. You've either scheduled that first buyer consultation or your first showing, or you've already scheduled your listing appointment. This is also when you hold that appointment as well. The next phase is active, pretty self-explanatory. This means that buyer has signed on an agreement with you for them to use you as their buyer representative, or you actually have a live listing now on the MLS and you're going through the process of marketing it. The last 2 phases, also self-explanatory. One is under contract, meaning you definitely either have an offer on that listing and you have accepted it now, or your buyer has made an offer on a property and it's been accepted and you're now under contract, and then closed. Hopefully, we all know what that means, right? So these 5 phases, you will see these in each one of your sales pipeline, listings and buyers and leases. One small difference for leases, instead of calling it under contract, it's called pending. Okay. Underneath the little icons, you'll see a bubble with a number in it. That lets you know how many opportunities you have in that particular phase. So, like you can see here, we have 3 opportunities in the cultivate phase, and then you'll have 2 opportunities in the under contract phase. Below that, you'll see volume and average time. So that's the amount of volume collectively from the opportunities that you have in that phase. And that's the average time that your opportunities have spent in that particular phase. Now, we're a demo account, so ours might be a little longer than normal. Hopefully, yours looks a little bit better. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see a GCI breakdown. There's two figures here. The top is potential income. That means the total collective GCI for all the opportunities you have in this entire pipeline for your listing opportunities. If they all made it to the closing table, this is what your potential income would be. The probable income underneath that, it takes into consideration the probability that all of these opportunities will or will not make it to the closing table. I believe, like in the cultivate stage for an opportunity, there's only a 5% chance or likelihood that it will actually make it to the closing table. So this particular figure takes those probabilities into account. So you'll see an adjusted GCI of the likelihood that that's what you'll actually make from the opportunities that you currently have in that sales pipeline. You'll see these GCI figures at the end of each of your pipelines. Okay. Moving on down. Oh, I did tell you these were hyperlinks. We're going to circle back to these in just two shakes. Coming on down on the dashboard here, you'll notice you just have some more visuals for your business. So like you have a ratio chart here that shares the color coding. Remember, the green are listings, the orange is buyers, and the purple are leases. And so this shows you what percentage of your business is made up of each one. So for this particular business, you can see they're heavier on the listing side than the buyers. It also gives you a little bit of a chart breakdown as well, the number of opportunities that you currently have in total, what each type they are. And then it also has your GCI breakdown again, just in chart view, another way to visualize your business and shows you that potential and probable GCI. Next, line chart. So you have activity for your business, right? Over here on the right-hand side, you can kind of gauge over the last 12 months what your business activity has been. Have you been higher in listings, buyers, maybe even landlord or tenant? So you can come through and view the activity in your business. If you view all opportunities, you can kind of see as soon as February hit, the market started picking up and this particular agent's business began to rise. Okay. Again, just another helpful visual for your business. At the bottom, you'll see closings that you may have scheduled in the next 30 days. So if you have a closing in the next 30 days, you should see them listed down here just as a quick visual so that you can see what kind of business you got going on. When we come back up to the top, across the top here, you may have more tabs than you see on my screen if you are on a team. If you're on a team, you may have a tab for your team, and then you may have a tab for you individually. It depends on your rainmaker of your team. Some rainmakers want all opportunities to go through the team, and so you may just see your team tab and not an individual one. Some rainmakers allow you to have your own personal opportunities and team opportunities. And in that case, you may see a team tab, your individual tab, and then all opportunities. At the very least, no matter if you're a solo agent or a team agent, you should still see all opportunities listed here. This is a way to go and find all of your opportunities instead of just the ones that are currently active in your sales pipeline. Because once an opportunity closes, it will stay here on this visual for you and still impact your GCI projections for 30 days. After 30 days, that closed opportunity won't show up here anymore. You'll have to come back here to your All Opportunities tab to find it. So let me show you your All Opportunities tab briefly. Again, this is just a representation of all your opportunities that you currently have or have had in the past, depending on the phase that they're in and also their age. So they'll be ranked. You can notice that these columns have sort arrows that you can kind of sort them in alphabetical or reverse alphabetical. You also have the 6 dots here on the headers where you can drag and drop them into a different order too for the columns. If there's a particular piece of data you'd like to see first, Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Thank you. Excuse me. All right, awesome. So right here again, just dragging and dropping the headers so that you can customize this view a little bit. Once you have it exactly like you want, maybe you've used your filters here to kind of sort through some of your opportunities and find the ones that you want to see, and you've adjusted the column headers. You can come over here and create a smart view, which means it saves those filters just like you had them. And so you don't always have to come in and adjust them every single time. You can create a smart view to see maybe all of your under contract or a smart view for all of your closed opportunities. However, you'd like to organize your business and have filters set up, you can create a smart view for it to save you some extra steps. Okay. Coming back over here to our tab for our opportunities dashboard, I do want to show you in the top right, you do have a create opportunity button here. I'm going to walk you step by step how to create that opportunity once we start going through the sales pipeline. Okay. But your button is always right over here to create that opportunity. If you haven't learned yet in Command, though, there's multiple ways to do the same thing. So you will see buttons in different places just to be easy shortcuts for you. So if you're actually over here in your contacts tab, looking at one of your contacts, there's also an opportunity button there too to go ahead and create an opportunity for a contact. So you have a couple of ways to do it. Let's go ahead and click into our sales pipelines here. I want to show you the phases, how you manage an opportunity, move it through the phase, move it through the sales pipeline, and also some things that you can customize further in here as well. So we're going to go ahead and just click into our cultivate phase here. And what this opens up is your sales pipeline. So instead of going just from the visual horizontal line display that you have on your dashboard there, this is actually going into that sales pipeline. You can see all 5 of the phases here. Okay. Notice that now we have these columns underneath, and these are called stages. So your pipeline has 5 phases. That's cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. But then within each one of those phases are stages. So, for example, cultivate phase has the watch stage. You're watching that contact. Nurture stage, you're actually reaching out, trying to make contact, trying to build that rapport. And then you have a hot stage. You've made contact with this person, you're developing that relationship, and you are working on getting that appointment scheduled. They're ready to go. While the phases cannot be changed, your stages can. You can actually rename these particular stages and even delete them, add more. You can put them in a different order. And so all of that can be customized right up here in your stages and checklists button at the top. Let me explain further a couple of other basics really quick before we jump into checklists, but I'll actually jump in here and show you how you can customize this and set your standards up, set your templates up so that every time you come to create an opportunity, you've already got everything standardized and it will help create things for each opportunity every single time for you. So you're not recreating the wheel every single time you make a new opportunity. So we'll jump into that customization in just a second. But let me show you further. These are the stages, right, that we have set up, the 3. Each one of these little cards that you're seeing right here, that's an opportunity. So you'll be able to glance and see the name of the opportunity, the name of the contact, and then if you have any other information filled out on that opportunity, like here you can see an address, it will also be displayed here in little text. And the top right, you have 3 dots, which in Command means you have a hidden menu. So you can choose that to view some opportunities, some options for your opportunities here within those 3 dots. Okay. Next, this little guy right here, this tasks icon that you see, These are the same as your tasks over here for your task icon and command. These are basically to-do items, right? Well, you can actually preview them by clicking on this little task icon and seeing tasks that you have associated with this particular opportunity. These are also called checklists. Remember, I said that you can set up standard checklists that will apply to all of your opportunities moving forward. There is a way to help you bring consistent value to all of your opportunities so that you never drop anything through the cracks when it comes to your value that you bring to every single deal. So if there's things that you definitely do every single transaction or hope to do for every transaction, you can create a to-do item for the opportunity so that it will remind you to make sure you get that done for the opportunities. The stages and checklists that I shared with you earlier that you can create the standards for, that's actually creating a standard checklist that will apply to all of your opportunities. So you'll always have those to-do items for each opportunity. And again, you don't forget anything or nothing falls through the cracks. Notice that on these to-do lists, AKA checklists, you have your 5 phases. You can set up different tasks for every single phase of the sales pipeline. Okay. These are very similar to what you see in your tasks icon and command. You can come here and click to create a task. And it's the same view that you get when you try to create a task. You name it. You can choose what phase it's for and what stage, whether it's a call, text, or other. You can fill in the description, add a hyperlink, set your priority level, and schedule those tasks. The beautiful thing about an opportunity task like this that's a little different, you have a few scheduling options right here. Not only can you schedule it for like a calendar date, but maybe this is a checklist, right, for your future opportunities. So maybe you don't have a specific calendar date, but maybe you know that like 2 weeks after closing, you will always want to do a follow-up call to your clients to check to see how it's going and if they're settled. So you could come in here and choose on a smart due date, which means a date associated with the closing or a transaction like estimated close date, appraisal date, home inspection date, close date, all the different quote unquote smart due dates that you would have in a transaction. You can schedule a task for that even though you don't have a calendar date. So for this, you can choose, we'll do before or after that smart due date. We'll choose the closing date as the event or smart due date and go ahead and adjust this to say, okay, 2 weeks after closing, we want this call task to trigger so that you'll know to call your client 2 weeks after closing. Okay, so just to give you an idea, the tasks that you create for an opportunity have this special scheduling option to make sure that you're able to schedule it based on an event date, not just a calendar date. Okay, I'll go ahead and click away from this and bring us back to our tasks list here. You can again create these tasks, mark them off as you get them done, add new due dates if you want. But you can do this for every single phase. Okay, this is how you would add in maybe you had your standard checklist that applied to this opportunity, but maybe this is a client that needs a little extra grace applied, right? A little more hand holding, or maybe it's just the opposite. Maybe it's an investor that definitely doesn't want to hear from you, if at all possible, only when they need to sign something or exchange money. So you can come in here and adjust these tasks for this particular opportunity alone if you need to. Remove them, add a few, whatever you need to do. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that. And again, this icon applies to this one opportunity for tasks. But if you want to come in and set up standard checklists for all of your future opportunities, click this button right here at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and click in this now just to show you what it is. These are your stages right here, and they're named out. You can change the order they're in if you want, drag and drop. You can come up here to the top right and choose to add a new stage if maybe there's another level to that phase for your particular business that you want to add. You can change the name. The edit pencil is right here to do that. Or you can even trash it if you decide you don't want that. Your checklist for each one of these stages is right here, and you would simply click this hyperlink to come in and add tasks, rearrange them, and possibly even make them a client update. What is a client update? Your opportunities in Command have a way to automatically update your client with the items that have been completed for their opportunity. It would email them once a day with a little summary saying, these items have been checked off or completed for your business, or here's the progress of your transaction. Don't worry though, it won't update them on every single task. You hand pick which tasks that client gets notified about. Okay, so you do get complete control. We have a tip video on our YouTube channel that goes through this in detail. It's a little bit of a setup process. There's a few things to check off and to do, like right here, you would make sure that you've either selected that they would get a notification about that task or they would not, right? So you wouldn't necessarily in the cultivate phase want that person to get an update that you just got their email address. So there's some things that you could choose that you do or don't want to be updated, but I definitely recommend going and checking out that YouTube tip video just because it is a very professional email and it's a way to leverage connectivity between you and your client through command. Okay, one less thing that you have to do. So definitely check that out. I also want to share another tool with you guys here. I'm going to share a YouTube, excuse me, not a YouTube, a Google Drive link right here in the chat for you guys. If you're watching this back by video, it should be in the description of the video on YouTube. What this is a sample checklist template. It will ask you to make a copy of the checklist, and I'm going to put it on your screen here just as soon as it opens. But you don't have to recreate the wheel or start from scratch. If you want to build your checklist templates now, use this. It has the phases over here down the left-hand side. It has the stages across the top, and it has sample tasks that you would have for each one of those phases and stages. You literally can just take this, copy, and go right into here with your task and paste it. You would have to do one at a time, okay? So you do need to do that to build out your checklists, but this is a great way where you don't have to think up everything from scratch. You have a starting place, okay? So you can easily start building out your checklist today. All right. Excellent. I see that heart in the chat. Thank you. Yes, I thought that was a great tool. KW provides that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this checklist. Again, you can come in here, do the elbow work, guys. Go ahead and build out your checklists. Every single future opportunity that you create afterwards will have these checklists applied to them. Again, helping you bring consistent value through every single transaction. So it helps you keep from getting too lost in your business, basically, right? And make sure you're still bringing that personal touch. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and go back to our sales pipeline here. I want to show you how you can move an opportunity through the sales pipeline. Remember how you can click on it and it becomes a moving opportunity here? I can move it through to another stage. I can also pick him up and move him to a different phase. See how it turns green in the background or teal? So we can actually move him and drop him into another phase as well. That's how you would move your opportunity through the pipeline. Okay. If I wanted to view this opportunity itself and really get into the details, I would simply click on the name of the opportunity and open it up. I'm going to give you a brief overview of this opportunity. This is what they look like when you're in them. And then we'll spend the rest of class actually walking through that sales pipeline that I mentioned before. So you'll actually know the process from start to finish. Okay. So again, this is what an opportunity looks like. You'll notice in the top left, you keep that hyperlink right here that will always take you back into that sales pipeline if you need to. You'll have the name of your opportunity here, and you can edit that. You'll have the contact name, and you can always click on this and it will actually take you to their contact profile if you need to jump over there really quick. And on a listing opportunity, which this is, you have the opportunity to, I need to quit using the word opportunity. You have the option to add the listing address right here to your opportunity. So when it comes time, once you have that actual physical address, you can select from listings right here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. And it opens up this drawer. Now, do not be alarmed when it shows you that you have no listings matched and it tries to get you to sync your MLS. While syncing your MLS is a great thing to do, if you're not familiar with it, go check out our YouTube video. It shows you how to sync your MLS with your command so that whenever you have listings, they will automatically populate right here for you, saving you some steps. But you do not have to do that before you're jumping in here to opportunities and linking properties to your opportunities, okay? I'll show you how to adjust these search items to be able to view all the listings on the MLS anyway, even if you haven't synced your MLS, okay? So up here in the top left, you can search by street name or MLS number. MLS number tends to be a little more efficient just because they're more specific than just a street address. So we'll go ahead and change that to MLS ID and put our MLS in here. We can search the KWLS, but notice how it still says nothing is found. Over here on the right-hand side, it defaults to just show your listings. So we'll click this and go to all listings, and it will pull all listings on the MLS across the United States and further that have that MLS number. So then you'll just scroll down till you find the listing you're looking for. You also have a status filter too. So if you know the status that it should be in, like typically if this is your listing opportunity, once that listing is active on the MLS, you could have come and searched active, right? And it would show you and help narrow down the results. But this is our little guy right here, just our sample for today. And so it's active. We'll check the market center name should be the same as yours if it's your listing, right? And we'll go ahead and select. Once you've selected it, click away from the property drawer. And now this listing is linked at the top of our opportunity. It also came down here and updated automatically the property information. So you can see that here. I'll show you this more when we go into our sales pipeline. Over in the top right, you'll have an indicator of whether those client updates are on or off for this opportunity. Even if you've selected to have client updates turned on within your command, it still defaults to off for each opportunity, and you have to turn it on for each opportunity. This prevents command from sending updates that you don't want sent out just yet. Okay, so you'll see whether it's off or on. You'll also have your checklist. Remember your tasks for this particular opportunity. And then you have client updates button. This is going into getting those set up and done. So you'll see that at the top right. Across the tab here, you have a details section. This is where you can come in and click on these pencils and adjust any of the details within your opportunity, like key dates. That's something important to keep up to date on your opportunity. So you see the option to come in here and include that, including like a seller's worksheet and some other items. Next is marketing tab. We have a whole class on marketing and checklists. You guys can definitely go check that out. It's opportunity marketing and checklists. It's like a part 2 class to this class. It deep dives here into this marketing tab as well as doing things like setting up your checklists and your client updates. This marketing tab is only found within your listing opportunities, okay? Because technically, or your buyer opportunity, you're not necessarily marketing your buyer, right? So you have a marketing tab for your listing opportunities. Cheryl is asking, are these items printable? Yes, if they are a print item. So all of these items you can click and it will take you into your Command Design Center right here. The benefit of using them from within your marketing tab and your opportunity is it will automatically go ahead and pull up that particular listing for you, saving you a few steps and helping you edit these and customize them even faster. Okay. But any of these pieces you can download on your device and print, or order prints through your design center. Okay. Documents, pretty self-explanatory. These are documents that you will need for your opportunity. I'm going to deep dive into this in just a second. Let's continue with our general overview and I'll circle back here. Offers and commissions. When you get offers on your listing or your buyer is making offers, you can come here and create new offers, accept or reject them. And once you accept an offer here, it will take you to your commissions tab where you can actually request a commission from your market center staff. We're going to walk through this as well in just a second. The other two tabs, again, pretty self-explanatory. Notes, any notes that you have for this opportunity, and also a timeline that you can come in here and look at the lifespan of this opportunity and what all has happened if you need to see that. All right. Okay. That's a general overview of your opportunity. I'm going to come back to our opportunities tab right here. And now let's actually walk through the sales pipeline together, step by step. So first, you've got your person, right? You've met a contact. So hopefully you've come over here to your contacts tab and you've already added them into your contacts database. It's okay if you haven't just yet. You can actually come over here and create an opportunity and create the contact at the same time. Okay. So right over here on the right, we're going to go ahead and choose to create our opportunity since now we have our contact and you're beginning to cultivate that relationship with them. Let's go through the fields together in creating the opportunity. If you don't have any particular business yet, guys, this is a great thing to do to just create a sample one, just so you can move through the steps. So definitely come in here and create a sample person or sample contact. Use yourself as a contact, however you want to do it. But making opportunities ahead of time, just as test opportunities, are a great thing to do for practice. If you are part of multiple market centers, up here in the top left, you'll want to go ahead and choose between the two market centers. If you're only in one market center, though, you will just see this one option and you won't have to adjust that particular field every time. Okay. Next, opportunity type. What type of opportunity is this? Listing, buyer, landlord, or tenant? For today, we'll go ahead and make a listing one. In the top right, if you are part of a team, this will already be selected for you. If you're a solo agent, it will look like this and just be grayed out. Next is owner. This is generally selected for you as well, and you won't have to adjust this. But if you are a solo agent, you'll see your own name there as an owner. If you're on a team, you will generally see your rainmaker's name there. Coming on down, we're going to hit the fields that have the red asterisks. Those are the required fields. And right here would be your client's name or contact's name. Don't worry if it says no options. As soon as you begin typing, it should pull up those contacts that are already in your command database. And you can choose from the drop-down menu. If the contact has not been created in your command database just yet, you can always click Add New Contact and it will create that contact for you, just like I mentioned. So we're going to go ahead and select our little guy here. Once we select that client, it already populates a suggested opportunity name for us, but you can always put your cursor in this field and change that name if you want to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put our date on today so I'll know which one we're making. If you also have a co-seller or a co-buyer, depending on what type of opportunity you decided to create, you can also add them here or add them later. Coming on down, custom tags. Now, you may be familiar with tags that you have within your command contacts. This is actually a separate set of tags. These are great ways to actually track your opportunities or organize them. Like, let's say you actually want to track your business to see how many transactions or opportunities you do this year for military or maybe seniors, just a particular niche in the market that you might have. Well, that's a great idea to create a tag for that. So we'll say that maybe this opportunity is military and maybe they're also senior. And so you can come in here and add as many tags as you want. Again, it's separate from your contacts tags. It's just a way to help sort through your business to see how many opportunities you had for each one. Down here below, you'll have several fields. Several of them don't have red asterisks. If you already know this information, you can put it in here, but most of the time you won't have this data when you're just creating an opportunity for the first time, like an estimated close date or estimated list price, or even a time frame for this opportunity. But if you have that data already, you can certainly enter it now. You do need to definitely enter your commission rate. So whatever that is going to be, go ahead and enter it into that field. It will default the opportunity phase to be your very first one of cultivate, and it will also default to the very first stage within that phase. If you need to change it though, maybe this listing is already active, you've already gone on the listing appointment, everything's signed, and now you're getting it marketed, you can go ahead and change that. Okay. Once you're ready, go ahead and click create, and that will have created your opportunity. It will go ahead and open the opportunity for you here. You'll see at the top left, we are currently in the sales pipeline and we are in the active phase. But remember, you can always jump into that sales pipeline and move it through a different opportunity phase or stage if you need to. So you know your contact, and now you've created your opportunity. So let's talk about actually how you walk through the process of a listing. I'm actually going to go in the sales pipeline and grab this little guy back from active and stick him in cultivate. So he's in our cultivate phase and stage right here, drug and dropped him over here. And let's open him back up. And so now you're cultivating that relationship. Make sure as you go through the life of this opportunity that at any point in time you have new details about this opportunity, that you're coming here to the details tab and updating it. Like, for example, the property information. As soon as you get that property address, you can either click the pencil right here to update these fields, like if it's not on the market just yet, or if it is on the market already, you can actually link it to that opportunity, just like I showed you earlier by selecting the listing. We'll just go in here really quick and make sure we're linking that property to the opportunity. By selecting it, clicking off the property drawer, and it automatically updates this property information for you. The reason why it's so important to keep these details updated on the details tab within the opportunity is that once you start moving into creating your documents in DocuSign or Dotloop, whichever one you use, the data from right here on this details tab will feed automatically into that DocuSign room and onto your DocuSign forms. So it just helps you again save steps. Remember at the beginning of class when I was talking about the importance of making sure your DocuSign or Dotloop account is linked to your command prior to creating your opportunities? The reason being is it helps this data, these details, sync over to DocuSign and Dotloop seamlessly. Okay, that's one of the benefits of it. And so here again, just come in, make sure you're clicking your pencil and updating your details on this tab as you have new information about this opportunity through the entire life of the opportunity. Okay. Next, At any point in a listing opportunity, you can definitely jump into this marketing tab. Again, that other class, opportunity marketing and checklist, deep dives into this so that you can come in here and create different marketing for every single different phase that the opportunity is in. So you can do that. Siobhan, I do. I can get that from YouTube for you from you right after class. I'm just going to keep pushing through these last few minutes to make sure I cover everything, but I'll be happy to get that class archive for you. It's on our YouTube channel. And then documents. You've got this opportunity, you've got the contact, you've made the appointment, and now you need to know what documents you need. When you come right here to your Documents tab, over on the left-hand side, there's a checklist. This may automatically be selected for you. As you can see right here, residential was already selected, but these checklists are determined by your market center, and so everyone's may be a little bit different. Some market centers have multiple checklists, and you'll need to come over here on this left-hand side first to make sure you select the one that applies to this opportunity. So it could look like land, commercial, residential, new construction. It just depends on what your market center has created for your particular area. This particular market center only has residential listed, so it's already pre-selected. Once you have a checklist selected right here, then you will see the different documents listed that are either required for this step in the transaction, maybe optional, and then sometimes you might see a little bit of a peach colored label that says conditional. So it will let you know again the document that is required, optional, or conditional for each one of these parts of the transaction. So we're in a listing opportunity. We've got our listed folder selected. So when you are going for your listing appointment, you'll come right over here and look at the documents that you know you will need for that particular step in the transaction. Okay, that lets you know what's needed for compliance for your particular office. You'll notice these forms change, like if I click on the under contract, now I will also see the forms that I'll need to gather once I'm under contract and also for closed. Okay, let's go back to our listed folder. Now, where do you get those documents from? How do you get them signed? This is where the Start a Transaction button comes in over here on the far right. This, when I click Start a Transaction, should open a DocuSign Room for me. Notice it opened another tab. It will open the DocuSign account that I have linked to my command. And this is a DocuSign Room where I can come in and get all of my forms, edit them how I need them to, and send them to my contacts to get signatures. We have another class called DocuSign 101. It picks up right here at this point and will show you exactly how to retrieve all of your forms, make edits, send them for signatures, and how to get them back. Okay? So DocuSign 101 picks up right here at this point. For the sake of this class, we're just going to say this is where you come to get those forms signed. And once they've been returned signed from your contacts, you can be in your opportunity and come over here on the right-hand side. And now you want to add those signed documents into your opportunity so that you can submit them to your market center for compliance approval. Notice how it says over here beside the folders, not submitted yet. So let's say you just went through DocuSign, you got your listing documents signed, you have signatures on them. Those signed documents are either on your computer or in your DocuSign account. You can come right over here to the right and see the box that says select, and it says attach files from DocuSign. I can select that drop down, and if there were any signed documents in that DocuSign account, I would be able to easily select them from this drop down menu and have them put in here into our opportunity. Since I don't have any signed documents in that DocuSign room, let me show you how you can also add them from your device. So you can switch this over and say, I'm going to add these from my computer. I can click browse to browse them from my device, or I can literally just drag and drop them. So we'll just drag and drop a PDF here over into our opportunity, and he's going to work any second now, just a second. He's being extra special today. We're going to try one more time. And we'll just pretend that worked. That's the first time that actually hasn't worked for me. So he's being special today. We're going to choose browse and we'll choose to file it this way so that you can see what it looks like once you have a document actually uploaded into the opportunity. It may take it a second. See how it's gray right now and it says uploading. There we go. You should get a green banner across the top. The status should change to uploaded. And you should have a hyperlink now to that form. Okay. So you can upload them from your device, drag and drop them from your device, and hopefully yours works. Or you can actually bring them right over from DocuSign where you have it say attach from DocuSign. Again, another benefit of having that DocuSign linked before creating the opportunity, it will allow you to choose them from this drop-down menu and bring them right in from DocuSign, saving you a few steps. If your DocuSign and opportunity are not synced together properly, then you may have to manually download the form from DocuSign and manually upload it into your opportunity. Again, not a major deal, but after you do it on a high level and you're working with a lot of opportunities, every second saved is a benefit, right? So let's say we've added all of our required forms here. All of them look like this. We have a form in each space that we need it to be. That means you've uploaded your forms into your opportunity, and now you need to submit them to your market center for compliance. So you'll come here and click Submit to Market Center. This In Progress button right here will actually start changing. It will show you that you're submitted. And then after your Market Center has received your files for each step, each folder that you have in here through each step of the process, they'll review them and you'll get notification bells here in command letting you know whether it's approved or if they have a question or if maybe it's missing something and something needs to be changed. Okay, you will get a notification, but then once it's approved, it will show approved status and you can move to the next folder and start working on those particular documents. Okay, so let's say we just got our guy listed. He's live on the MLS, and now you have offers coming in on your listing. This would also work the same if it's a buyer and they've made an offer on a property. You would come in here to Offers and Commissions tab, and you would create your offer. So we'll just come over here on the right-hand side and click Add New Offer and show you how to fill this out. Every field that has a red asterisk is required. And you can put your cursor into every single one of these fields and make adjustments to any of the text you need to. This little guy can be a little tricky. This particular field, even though our address is here, even though he's already linked at the top of our opportunity, this guy just seems to be a little tricky and give errors often. If you receive an error saying that maybe that listing is not on the KWLS, you can always come right here to select from KWLS. It's that same property drawer we walked through before. You can simply choose MLS number or street address, but MLS is more accurate. Make sure you're looking at all listings and then find that particular listing. It should come up for you at that point and you can make sure it is selected. Okay. Click away from the property drawer and continue filling out your offer. So we'll just go ahead and mark this as a resale residential. Since this is a listing, it will automatically pull in your seller from your opportunity for you. For the buyer info, you can go ahead and enter that information as well as the buyer agent. If you have that information, you can add co-buyers, mark if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified, and then fill in the details of this sale. You can adjust as much as you want here or as little. And you do need to put a projected closing date on this offer. Okay. If there are any contingencies, you can add them or any additional comments that you want to provide. Now, this is internal, right? This is not going to your client unless you want it to. We'll go ahead and create offer here. And now your offers and commissions tab will show this offer sitting here. It's up to you. If you say you have another offer, you can add another offer here, as many as you need. It will actually give you the option when you are creating offers to create an offer comparison and send it to your clients as well. We have a tip video that will show you that. But let's say this is the only offer and you want to go ahead and accept this offer. We'll click accept. It brings you in here to fill out the additional information like the contract date. So we'll say that's today. Click save and accept offer. And now this offers and commissions tab turns into a commission request. And you can come in here and adjust whatever you need to. Add your agent payment, add an outside referral if you have one. Go ahead and enter all of your commission information as needed. On the right-hand side, you can tell if it balances. And then once you're ready, you can submit this to your market center and it will send this commission request to your MCA. It will show you the status that it's currently in, and you will get notifications within your command telling you the status, like if it's approved or if they have questions, things like that. So once your commission request is approved, you'll come back to your documents. Make sure that you've already submitted your listing folder and it's approved. Make sure that you've added all your under contract documents here and submitted it to your market center for approval. And then now that you have your approved commission request, you can go to closing. After your closing, you'll come back here to your close tab, upload those documents, and submit that to your MC for approval. Okay. Again, getting notifications every time it is approved. That is the lifespan, the sales pipeline for your opportunity. You will submit to your market center for compliance after each folder, each step of this transaction. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with me in class today. Yes, this video is recorded. It will be posted on our YouTube channel within the next, I would say, few hours before the close of business today, but our class archive is actually already there. I'm going to stop the recording and I'll go grab that archive for you so you at least have a link right now. You're welcome, Brett. And so if you, again, are here with me live, go ahead and drop any questions in the chat that you might have. I'm going to stay for a few minutes and get those answered for you. If you're watching this back on recording and you have any questions at all, you can always email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Thanks for watching.